Hey, how's everybody? All right, it's your boy, the Prophet B. Khush. Welcome to another evening of the late night Get Right with the Prophet B. Khush. It's my pleasure to be here as always. Amen. My pleasure to be here as always. Um, we're here, another episode. Tonight, I hope we got something that you would really like, that really does something for you in this journey relationship and marital affairs and things of that nature. Amen. Come on, somebody. Um, again, it's your boy, the Prophet B. Kush, the late night Get Right with the Prophet. We're here to, again, just try to provide some sound advice to each other in our conversations, to make it right, get it right, whatever the case may be. Please excuse me. I'm feeling like, oh man, long day. um, and it works out harder than or it looks like it's harder than what it needs to be sometimes, but in all honesty it's not. It's just really us being together, being available, right, for one another. These things are what makes it, you know come out better at the end of the day. Nothing just happens. Come on, somebody. Nothing just happens. And so you have to put in, you have to put work in, you have to, do all these things that truly make a difference in your life. A lot of times in relationships, we take things not serious or too serious. Okay, come on, not serious enough or too serious. And marriage is the same thing. This is the story, and we all have to live it and tell it and go through it. We are here tonight, and tonight's conversation is going to be about time. Come on, somebody. Time is going to be our conversation, and I hope that it does somebody well. It comes in and does something well for somebody. I hope the other shows that we did were shows that made a difference. Come on, somebody. And in that, we're praying that, always somebody gets something out of it, and they are allowed to live a little more, and grow a little more and all that good stuff. Come on, somebody. So don't think that we don't care here, because we do care. We care that you get a chance to hear yourself. This is the hour where you have the power to hear yourself, question some of the things that you've seen come along in your life or in your relationship. Come on, somebody. And if you want, you can call in, ask a question, or, have a remark about something. Come on, 718-622-2674. And we're starting off, small beginnings with giving this knowledge. I was blessed to have done certain things before and got great response from people. But my thing is to make sure that whenever I speak or take time out to be, with my people, that it's something that can help them. All right, come on. So tonight's message is about time. Come on, somebody. It's about time. And so how do we look at that, right? Time as an investment. Come on, we're going to dig right into it. We're not going, we ain't going to hold nothing up. Time as an investment. Time is currency. Come on, somebody. It's currency. It's not as simple as, we're doing whatever, however, whenever. It's a little bit hot right now. But time is a currency. Come on. How you spend it, reflects what and who you value, because when you're spending time with someone, they're seeing what interests you or what interests them in their reflection of what you did about how you spent the time with them. Come on, somebody. All these things matter, and we need to be intentional. If you're a couple, if you're married, you need to be intentional. Come on, somebody. You need to dig right in with the regards that this is what I'm going to do, this is what I want to do, and I want my girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife to see that I care. Come on. I think it's so important. We downplay how important it is to really spend time, quality moments that make everything come to life sooner or later, because it's not always alive once you get started, once you get into it. But in due season, spending the right type of time and doing these things will allow everyone to see the different things, because we look at the red flags. Come on now. Because that's why it's called red flags, because there's red flags in so much that we are doing to build a relationship or have a marriage, that when these things start to really blow up and time has took its course, come on, we wonder where they come from. But they come from these basic steps. Come on, somebody. I just want to help my people. I've seen a lot of people in bad situations. I counsel a lot of people through good things as well, who have the common sense to say, hold on, let's check, let's make sure, let's keep the greatness going. So time as an investment, you have to keep that in mind. Where you putting the things that you value, where you putting the things that you value. Time is the ultimate thing. It is the thing that you cannot get back. Hello, somebody. It is the number one currency. It is the number one everything to life. Without time, there's no life. Come on, not as we know it. Come on. And then, remembering always, when you move with that as well, time as a healer. Come on, as a healer, time when situations get rough is the very thing that you're going to need to air it out, to make it all come together, to make it make sense, So I think coming into situations like relationships and marriages, you need to really pay attention to how the time is being dispersed within it, so that you can better gird yourself and not make quick decisions, not do things off the cuff and you haven't thought about it, you haven't rationalized it, you haven't spoken about it. That's a big red flag, because it shows the importance of how you feel about a thing or a person by the time you use to deal with it. Come on, somebody. It's a lot to it. It really is. And I want us to be cognizant of that at all times. Time as a teacher, let's think about that. Time as a teacher, you learn more about a person over time, like I said, personality wise, the needs of the other individual, the love language. Come on, somebody. Um, the personality. We show each other the personality that we want them to see. Let's be fair, let's be truthful and honest. We show each other, you know, the personality we want them to see. It's not always the actual personality that is of you, because you're showing the best you, but there's also a worse you. There's also a not so good you, and that doesn't get shown in the beginning. Come on, somebody. And so time will allow that personality to show that both of you can see each other better. Come on, somebody. And then the needs, we come into these situations again, and we're showing a particular part of us that does not personify what is really going on, what it really looks like, what it really is. And when we say it, we're talking about the needs of the individual internally, emotionally, mentally, physically, forget monetarily and sexually, because these things are necessary, to know, because they're going to come up in time. Everything, man, let me tell you, time, you ain't got to worry about nobody telling the truth. Time going to tell the truth for you. Time gonna make the truth come out. Come on, somebody. And so these are, part of the things that we have to keep in mind. We have to keep mirroring in our, mindsets when looking at the other individual. And then there's the love language. Yes, you go into a relationship, you go into a marriage. The conversation. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna really do this. I'm gonna really do that. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna work him, and all those things are happening, right? We ain't gonna act like they're not happening. But the reality is, both of you have to come to a space where you get to learn each other. And this is where you learn each other emotionally, spiritually, and physically, right? Because how it all plays out, how it all really feels, comes out in time. It doesn't come out on the first moment. It doesn't come out in the first situation. Yeah, we know some things might happen during that first situation and in those first encounters, but those are not the things that will get you through a relationship. Those are not the things that will get you through a marriage. You have to know that you and the girl, or the guy and the girl, and the girl and the guy, and the wife and the husband are formidable. And in that, you have to give it time to grow. Come on, somebody. This is what time is doing now, because time reveals the places where we all have to grow. We're not put together like, a Lego set. There's some things that has to happen with her, some things that has to happen with you, that make the difference in how long you're going to be together, how you're going to be together. Because again, we get to see the personality after time. We get to see the needs after time. And so that's something to keep in mind. Come on now. And I do this totally out of my sincere heart to make sure that my people get a chance to hear some sound advice in how they're looking at their relationship, how they're looking at the love of their life or the marriage that's in front of them, because it's important we don't value the things that are most valuable in relationships or in marriage. And so then we find ourselves angry, upset, wanting to kill the next person, wanting to talk about the other person, but yet you passed by all these things and didn't do nothing. You passed by all these things and didn't check and didn't try to fix and didn't try to work it out. You did that. So who's the red flag on? Did you not pay attention? Did you not say that it was important? Did you not have your mind in the right state to do it better, to do it to a degree that makes a difference in long term, not just for the moment? Chinese food, McDonald's, come on. Did you not prepare the meal? So those are things to think about, right? Because time as a priority is realistic. What you give your time to, it'll grow. Let's be honest. If you give yourself to something negative, it'll grow negatively. If you give to yourself to something positive, it will grow positively, because this is what you're feeding it, right? So you need to do that. you know what you give love to, it'll strengthen, it'll grow. What you don't, it'll weaken, it'll break. You didn't put nothing in. Come on, somebody. These relationships and these marriages, a lot of times that are taking place and have taken place and will take place in the future, are ones that no one never really put the time in necessarily intentionally. Come on, somebody. And so I want us to be aware of that. We need to do these things intentionally. All right. And remember, your work, children, hobbies, and or friends, they shouldn't consume all your time. They really shouldn't. If you don't want a relationship, if you don't want a marriage, then go the other way. But if you want a relationship and you want a marriage, you have to prioritize your time. Your children, if they belong to both people in the relationship or both people in the marriage, y'all have to put that time together still. If the children are outside of the relationship or outside of the marriage, even the more you have to categorize the time and subject yourself to keeping that schedule of that time, because it matters. um the relationship and the relationship at some point, but the marriage definitely deserves priority from you. It deserves priority from the wife. It deserves priority from the husband. And not realizing that, putting yourself or keeping yourself in a space where you're not putting out the energy or the love into it on those levels, it just, you got disaster on its way. You didn't do your homework. You didn't put it together the way you should have. You got disaster on the way. And that's when we look and we see that things are falling apart. We see that uh, things are not met at the right stance, the right way. They're not prioritized appropriately. And so time is the very thing that needs to be prioritized appropriately, or else you're going to lose. All right. Time is sacred. Come on, somebody. I'm going across the threshold of time, what time means, what time is. Um, you know, yeah, if you're religious or believing people, y'all should be getting together and praying and doing your salats or whatever it is from whoever you're doing it with. I'm not going to be judgmental at all. No judgment here, but you should do that together to have a deeper bond on a deeper level. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Because at that point, you got something that's beyond just the fleshly part of it. It's beyond just the day-to-day living. You and the other person can dream together. Y'all can fantasize together. All these things is important because you're building together. So make it holistic, what you're doing in it, so that everyone within it, the marriage, the relationship, can benefit from it. I mean, that's just a reality. You have to take those moments and really secure them intentionally, because it's the red flag comes when we're not intentionally doing it, and we find ourselves in a position where it's just whatever, it's willy-nilly, everybody's doing whatever willy-nilly. What do you get from that? What do you get from that? What do you get from that? So I say to everyone, prioritize, prioritize, prioritize. Don't leave yourself in a position where, priority doesn't work. It's not happening, because then you're going to be hurt. You're going to be hurt. And there's all types of hurt, but we know relationship and marital hurts are those that carry a lifetime. Come on, somebody. Because we didn't understand, and because we didn't understand, we didn't get a chance to plan all these things. And so, moving on with it, time is as a legacy, for you as a couple, as a marriage. You need to pay attention to that part, literally and figuratively. Over time, your relationship, your marriage becomes a testimony, either of love and endurance, right, or neglect and brokenness. And that's something that you have to keep in mind, that that's what legacy you will leave for yourself. um Time, whether you walk away from the relationship or the marriage, right, because things have gotten too much, there's still the time spent within your body, within your mind. Come on, somebody. Yeah, you could push it to the side. You have that right to, delete it from your immediate memory if you have the power to. But for the most part, it's in you and it'll work you one way or another. And so when we consider time as a legacy, and how, we want love to endure, we don't want neglect or brokenness. We have to, again, intentionally put in to make that work. Come on, somebody. We have to put in to make that work, because if we don't, we have whatever. We have the however. Come on, somebody. And that you don't want. You don't want the whatever, however. You want the I'm doing this because I want it to work. I'm doing this because I love her. I'm doing this because I love him. I want him to see. I want her to see. And then the world sees eventually, the love that you share with each other. But I think a lot of times, because we're so into the facade of being around other people and showing other people stuff that ain't real and definitely ain't together yet, has no real foundation yet, that part becomes really, really bad within us. And so it's time spent, but it's neglectful to the purpose of you two being together. So time spent with the purpose of you two being together is love, is sharing each other from the inside. When you're doing it on the facet that, you just want homegirl to see your man, and you want my dudes to see this chick and this, that, and the third, that don't work out right. I'm your friend. It don't work out right. So, I'm definitely just trying to get you to realize that your time spent should be intentional. It should be very well to do. It should be a scenario that everyone benefits from at a time or another, uh, continuously, not just when it's convenient or if it's convenient. Come on, somebody. these things tend to plague us at the end of the day because we didn't put in. Come on, it's just the truth, you know. The story that's told later, you know, the winner gets to speak about how they did it and how they feel and write the narrative. But if we are both losers because it didn't work out, well, the losers get to write their own narrative too, and they get to write their story and tell it the way they see it or the way they want it to be seen. And so I want us to be uh, in a space of understanding that that's not what you want. And you can control the narrative. Like I always say, you can control the narrative by putting into the situation. You can control the narrative by being intentional. You can control the marriage by being consistent. You can control the narrative in so many different ways. And the relationship or marriage deserves this. It's not like, oh, maybe I get to it or maybe I'll do it. But no, it deserves it. It deserves it because you're putting in time. So if you put in time and it is the highest commodity of life, shouldn't you put it in the right way? Shouldn't you put it in that it's reciprocated and you know it comes back because you sent it out so beautifully, it comes back wonderful, and then everybody's moving in a space of love and of happiness. I think that we take that for granted and we don't put it together the way it should, and then wonder why things are the way they are. Wonder why there's so many red flags. Come on, somebody. Like I always tell you, the red flags are just not what about they're doing, but it's about what we are doing that are allowing things to happen, that are, us not putting in the effort to clear the runway before the plane takes off, as they say. We have to do these things. We have to do these things. And respectfully, and needfully so, to say that we gave ourselves a chance. You see so many great relationships, you see so many great marriages go to the wayside because nobody took it serious. Nobody put in the ways that would make it work. No one put in the ways that will guard against the ill falls of life, the stupid stuff, as they say. Um, because too much stupid stuff would drive anybody crazy. And so I say to you, time is the source, time is the beginning of all that. Time, valuing time in a relationship, in a marriage, is the very thing that will allow you to be above the curve. Not on the curve or behind the curve, but above the curve. So you win. There's a win-win in that. And why not win? I believe that people, if they understood what winning was and could feel the feeling of winning, everyone would choose to win. No one wants to lose. Come on, somebody. No one wants to lose. And so, to that, we're in a losing position because we're not putting in the right time. We're not putting in the important time frame, time pieces, time elements, time work that would make it so. It's just we go with the microwave oven sociological effect of the day, which we shouldn't be doing. And we're selling ourselves short. We're selling so many things about what we are, where we are, who we are short. We're selling it short. And so, to that, I don't know what to say because that's a bad scenario. That's a bad scenario. That's you giving it away. And always say compartmentalize and prioritize what you do, how you do. Come on, somebody. In that, you'll win. You should win. I want you to win. Come on now. It's crazy because I'm talking to the mic. But I want everyone to win. I want everyone to be in a place of bliss, a place of love. And the lame attitude that I hear young ladies speak about when they're talking about their significant other and how they want to treat them and how they're treating them. You know, the cornball attitude that I hear men speak about their loved ones or, their wives and how they treat them and how they're going to treat them. It makes me mad because why get a wife? Why get a husband? Why get a boyfriend? Why get a girlfriend if all you want to do is play? My man Big Pun said, go that way. Come on. And again, we're wasting time and we're wasting somebody else's time. Don't do that. So tonight it dawned on me to just speak about time because I think it's everything to life itself. And if you can begin to work on time in one element, in one part of your life, you can then spread that work ethic into other parts of your life. Come on, somebody. That's the truth. We are what we practice, and we're practicing bad habits all of a sudden on a regular in society. We're practicing bad habits. Oh my God, we're practicing the worst habits and then wonder why nothing is showing up right. Nothing is going right. So I say to everyone, realistically, look at time. Look at time. Don't just be a part of it. Look at time, because we all are a part of time as we live, but look at time, time as an instrument, time as an investment, time as a healer, time as a teacher, time as a priority, time being sacred. Look at all these different elements of time so that you can do the better part of what you need to do for your relationship, for your marriage, and be a winner. Come on, somebody, be a winner. Don't just be a doodad sitting on the side. Be a winner. Be the person that really comes up with a great testimony. All right. Um, you know, and remember this, right? Take this into thought because this says a lot about everything too. Red flag. Am I giving my spouse my leftover time or am I giving my best time? Come on now. In a relationship, in a marriage, is the guy giving the girl his leftover time or is he giving her his best time? In a marriage, is the guy giving his wife the best time or the leftover time? Is the wife giving her husband? Because if she runs through her day and all she got is leftover time, that's all he gonna get. Hello, somebody. Back to prioritizing. So yeah, you know what? You gotta think about, that in itself. The guy working, and he's maybe working with a purpose for that which is necessary for the marriage, for the home, and all he got is leftover time. I often tell people when they have kids, you have to make time. You can't tell me about what you gotta do and what have to do. No, you have to do these kids. You have to make time for these kids. When you look at these kids doing what they want to do, is because nobody's taking time out for them. Come on, somebody. Nobody's taking time out for them. Nobody's doing the things they need to be doing with their kids on top of their kids, and then wonder why their kids is out of control the way that they are. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. But that's another topic. But time, again, that all relates back to time. You have to put in, you have to make the adjustments. You cannot leave it to whatever, however. And that's what we're doing, following society's whims right now that are giving us nothing to go on, giving us nothing to make better within ourselves, nor within our families. And so, the old cliche when they say all money ain't good money, it's a reality. All time ain't good time. You have to take the good time and spread it out like mayonnaise on a bread. Come on, somebody. You have to do this in order for things to work, in order for things to have a chance, in order for you to look and see that, whatever red flags do come your way, you can be ahead of the curve. You can be on them or you can deal with them. A lot of times you can't, like death, you can't get over death. You have to learn to get through death and deal with death. And that's the same thing with red flags in a relationship or in a marriage. Sometimes you have to learn how to get through it, not get over it. It's in you. It's happened, and these things become the things that plague us, because in the microwave society, if it's not the heat that I want, then I throw it out and I start all over again. Come on, somebody. We're talking it the way it's supposed to be spoken, but no one's going through the process. No one's allowing the compartmentalization to know that these things can happen and that can happen, but also I can deal with it this way and I can deal with it that way to make it better. And so you feel bad for people because they're missing the mark on great things. They're missing the mark on great times. And when you do that, what's left? What's left? I feel bad. Yes, I do, for my people, because a lot of people are going to walk away hurt in a hard way in the days to come. They are, because they're not paying attention, because they're not trying, because they think it's a microwave oven and it should just go because I put in 2 minutes to warm. No, that's not life. And so I say to you again, time. Time. So, that's my thing for tonight. It's your boy, the Prophet B. Kush. And I just want to impart on people always something that's in my heart, on my mind, for the people, that they can play it back and take the sound advice of looking into things differently, looking at themselves, how they're processing things differently. And tonight is time, the sacredness of it, the investment of it. Come on, somebody. you know, the healing parts of it, the building parts of it, all these things, time as a teacher, are someone's giving you leftover time or are they giving you their best time? All these things are fragments. All these things are pro bono to you being successful in a relationship and in a marriage. And so when we're looking at red flags, we have to keep it a stack that the red flags are coming, but what did you do to make it work? And what are you doing to make it work? Hello, somebody. And so that's what I truly hope that, my people are getting from my little shorts and things like that, to inspire them to do better, to think better. Because if you're practicing to do better, to get better, to think better, you will be better. Come on, somebody. All right. So tonight, long day. We're doing the half an hour. It was a great resource, though. So in the hour that you got the power, we gave you a half. Usually I'm doing the hour, but I got things to do. I love you. Bless you. Don't let it do you. Come on, do what you do, but don't let it do you. It's your boy, the Prophet B. Kush. The late night get right. Always something to impart. Always willing to hear, listen to whatever anybody's got something to say. And I'm saying, have a great night. Attack it intentionally. Come on, somebody. Attack it intentionally. Don't just be lackadaisical in movement and in love and in spirit. Attack it intentionally. All right? Time. Come on, somebody. The number one thing, number one commodity. All right? Have a blessed one. My pleasure.